very brief note on Time's Arrow, Martin Amis. I'm laughing at brief because it's a very relative concept. On the one hand, then with the tangents we go off on, you never know. Maybe it's the longest we do. But it must be brief, more than the 12 seconds. That's another reason to looking at the average viewership of this fabulous channel. That's 12 seconds, and fabulous in that it has few readers, few viewers, which is that it should be, because we don't deserve more. I was looking at a documentary where they talk of influencers and so on, and I saw we're not much more ridiculous than others who have millions of watchers and so on. And it's good to come back to earth once in a while and see, well, how can people watch that? But then why would they look at this? Martin Amis, this is a fantastic family. I mean, to have somebody like Kingsley Amis, Amis Senior, is incredible. Rara Aves, rare bird. I've had a few notes recently on some of his books, and I was thinking I've reached. It's easy to count. It's not so significant. Book 16 or so, memoirs, I Want It Now, The Russian Girl, I Like It Here, One Fat Englishman, we need a note on that too. These are among the most recent, and it's such a brilliant series, not to mention Lucky Jim, Ending Up, The Old Devils, Girl 20, Stanley and the Women, and a few more. So yes, fantastic. And The Sun. Also, I've read Money before this, and Information. But The Sun is too much for me. I mean, he's too clever, too sophisticated, too inventive, too creative by half for this poor individual who has struggled with money. The Information somehow was more approachable, but this time, Time's Arrow, I need to stop. I went to 30% on a Kindle, and I mean 30% of the book it tells you where you are. So I said, well, we can just sail through, but what would be the point? It's not like we have comments or any feedback here, except for dislikes. So that's annoying, but but people saying, "Oh, what don't you try and read this?" or "What do you think about that?" So the only reason would be pleasure, and that's missing when you can't grasp it. There is the quote from Umberto Eco. The reader has 5,000 lives, as opposed to the one who doesn't read, who has just one, his own. And that's eternity backwards, or infinity. It's a paraphrase, I don't know if it's the exact quote. And then that can be combined with something I keep mentioning recently, because it's so important, especially here, where what we have is books and those two demons hit that, and continuous conflicts with the spouse who's not here. So we can talk about it, or we can't. Maybe the door will open and then cut. So, in To the Hermitage, Malcolm Bradbury says characters in fiction are much wiser, clever, interesting, captivating. Events that are also challenging, worth finding about, and you can access this from the room, which I can't leave from. I can't leave here because of these animals, these pains in the ass. And so if you combine those two, that's wonderful. But with Time Cycle, the problem is you have to be able to. This is in my view, too much. I mean, overwhelming. I couldn't go back in time. I mean, time is not flowing as we know it, but the other way around. So it's amusing quite often. It's clearly it's one of the 1,000 novels that everyone must read, but that's if you can.